Hi guys, thanks for joining me. This video is going to be about highlighting and contouring. Very exciting stuff. So step one is Makeup Forever Step 1 Redness Correcting Primer. This stuff is really awesome if you have a lot of redness like me. I like to pack this stuff all over my face and it really does help reduce any signs of redness. And I also feel like the more I use this product, the less and less my face looks red. If that makes any sense. I don't know. I just love this product. It's awesome. Now I'm going to use a Nivea Men Post Shave Balm. It's crazy to me that this is a men's shave balm, but it really works. I've been using this since it's been like blowing up. And honestly, I've seen a huge difference in the way my makeup lasts all day and all night, which I've always had a struggle with. And it has a ton of glycerin in it, which is going to act as an adhesive to make sure your makeup lasts. So for me, that's huge. I kind of wish I did this product before I did the redness corrector, but that's okay. Lesson learned. The key is to rub it and press it into your face until it's tacky and kind of sticky. That's when you know it's going to work its best. But this stuff is like a little over $5 at the grocery store, and I'm sorry, for a primer that works, you can't beat that. For the next product, we're going to be using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone. And I'm going to put this on all the parts of the face where I want to highlight. So my cheekbones, I like to put a little bit above my brow, down the bridge of my nose, and on my cupid's bow. I'm doing this before the foundation to kind of give more of a natural highlight and a glow from within. For foundation, I'm going to be using the LC Cosmetics foundation. And to apply it, I'm going to be using a Real Techniques complexion sponge. And you want to make sure that the sponge is damp when you're applying this foundation. This foundation is full coverage. It's great for any skin type. I use this on a lot of my clientele, and they are always satisfied with the way their skin looks. The shade I am in this foundation is Porcelain, aka Hella Pale, but that's okay. I'm embracing my paleness, so deal with it. To highlight and conceal, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Weightless Concealer. I'll be applying this anywhere that I want to highlight, so underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose. I like to apply a little bit on my forehead and my chin. When picking a shade to highlight, you want to make sure it's about 1 to 2 levels lighter than your foundation. I like to keep it a little bit more natural with the under eye highlight, so I stick with about 1 level. If you go too many levels lighter, that's when you can kind of look a little crazy and a little unnatural, which you want to avoid. I'm going to start sculpting out my contour, so I'm going to pick up the Smashbox Contour Trio Sticks. I'm going to take the bronze pencil, and I'm just going to go a little bit above the hollows of my cheekbones and start applying some dots. And then on the lower part of my forehead doing the same thing. And then a little bit later on, you're going to see me add quite a bit around my jawline just to kind of disguise a little bit of double chin action, if you know what I mean. It's really important to figure out what face shape you have. If you're heart, square, oval, round, these things are important to know when you're highlighting and contouring because we're all different. We all have different bone structures, and there's different ways to contour everyone's face shape. I'm going to go in depth about face shapes a little bit later on, but right now I'm going to pick up the contour stick from the Smashbox Trio and apply a thick line right in the hollows of my cheeks to make my face shape a little bit slimmer. I'm also going to put this contour stick at the top of my hairline on my forehead to create an illusion of having a smaller forehead. If you already have a small forehead, I would avoid this step altogether just because it's going to make your face feel a little bit more squished and you're going to kind of look a little mean. When you're blending out cream highlights and contours, you want to start with the highlight first. Just because you want to start with the lighter color and then go darker just so you're not like dirtying up your sponge and making your face look muddy. This sponge is damp and I'm just pressing into the skin in a bouncing motion going back and forth and making sure everything is blended. To blend out my contour, I like to turn my sponge horizontally and start pressing into the skin and bouncing the sponge in an upward motion. That's going to make it very easy for you to blend out this product, and that is very important as we want to blend out this cream contour. You want to make sure that you're blending the product in the area that you placed it. You don't want to start blending all over the place. Anywhere that you put that contour line down, that is the area that you want to blend it into. You don't want to take the contour and blend it out underneath the cheekbone area because it's not going to give you that sharp, dramatic, slimmed down face shape that, we all want. So like I said, it's really important to stay in that area that you're contouring and keep blending it out. So when you're blending out the forehead and the hairline area, you really want to push that product in the hairline so you don't have a crazy line of demarcation or anything like that. And then when you're blending out the jawbone, you just kind of want to go back and forth, up and down your jawline and kind of blend it down towards your neck. Now I'm going to set my face with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm going to mix that with MAC Emphasize, and with a Morphe E3 brush, I'm just going to set the places that I highlighted. So underneath my eyes, my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and on my chin. After you're done setting your face, you can leave this as is. Put on some blush, some lipstick, some lip gloss, whatever. Get out the door, you're good to go. But I'm going to amp it up a little bit more, make it a little bit more dramatic. So I'm going to start with the Kat Von D Shade and Lights Contour Palette. I'm going to take the two lighter shades. One of them is called True Taupe and the other one's called Soft Brown. And then I'm going to take this Morphe M527 brush and I'm going to go ahead and just apply this on top of where we contoured. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about different face shapes. They say that ideally everyone wants to have an oval face shape, which means that your face is longer than it is wide and you have a rounded jawline. I say who cares, your face shape is your face shape, do you, stay true, and whatever. But let's just say you want that perfect shaped face, but your face is heart-shaped, which means that your forehead is the widest part of your face and your chin is the narrowest. So what you want to do is focus the contour around the perimeter of your forehead and your temple area, and also the hollows of your cheeks. That should make the area appear more narrow. Your jawline is already rounded, so you don't really have to contour that area unless you want to, but it's already perfect, so you're good to go. So what if your face is round, which means that the cheekbones, the temples, and the top of your jawline are the widest part of your face. That's when you want to focus the contours in those areas so your face looks slimmer and more narrow. Another thing I like to do to make my contour a little more dramatic, this is totally optional, but I like to take a Morphe M510 brush and pick up a little bit of that True Taupe and apply this directly in the hollows of my cheeks and blend it back and forth. Okay, so if you have a squared face shape, which means that the sides of your face are straight, and your face is approximately equal in width as it is long, and you have a defined jawline, then what you want to do is create more of a curved face shape. So you want to focus the contour around the perimeter of your face, bringing your forehead down a little bit and curving out the jawline. With an RC Cosmetics small tapered brush, you can use any brush to do this. I'm just going to apply that loose translucent powder that we used to set the highlight, and I'm going to put this directly underneath my contour. This is going to make the contour look sharper and kind of clean it up a little bit. Moving on to some blush, I'm using the Morphe Brushes Blush Palette. I'm taking these two shades on a Morphe E4 brush. I'm using a ton of Morphe products, I didn't even realize it. And I'm just going to apply a soft, light amount of blush. I'm not like a crazy blush person. I don't like too much blush. I just like to add a little bit of color. I want the apples of my cheeks to pop, so I'm focusing the blush in that area and then working it up towards the temple. I like to take that same E3 brush for Morphe and just go over the blush and really buff it out to make it look soft and natural. Now it's time to highlight, which is my favorite part. I'm going to take the Hourglass Ambient Light Palette, and I'm going to take that medium light shade, and I'm going to take a Morphe M501 brush and apply this product on the tops of my cheekbones and above my eyebrow. I use that shade first to act as a base for the next highlight that we're going to use. And it's in the same palette. It's the one in the middle. It's the lightest shade, and it definitely is the most highlighted. But sometimes I feel like highlighting can look a little unnatural, kind of like there's just a shiny stripe across your face. So that's why I did the softer highlight first before the more intense, stronger highlight, to make it look more natural and kind of just like you're glowing and you've just been kissed by an angel or something like that. And you don't have to use this fan brush. You can use the Morphe M501 brush. I was just feeling fancy. I don't contour my nose that often, but I am going to tell you how. Let's say you have a wide set nose and you want it to look narrow. All you can do is you can take those contour lines and bring them closer to the center of the face to create a shadow and make it appear slimmer. If you have the opposite problem, just do the opposite. And let's say you have a long nose and you want to make it appear short. What you can do, just above the tip of the nose, you can create a contour line and then really blend it out, and that's going to make your nose appear shorter. Make sure you are buffing and blending out these contour lines because there's nothing more scary than an unblended, contoured nose. So this is what I like to do to make my lips appear fuller and more plumped. I like to take a blending brush. This is the same blending brush I use to contour my nose. It's the MAC 217 brush. And the contour shade I'm using is that True Taupe from the Kat Von D palette. I'm creating shadows underneath my bottom lip and on top of my upper lip, making sure that it's really blended. You really just want this to be nice and soft. So this is gonna help you girls that have very thin lips. I'm gonna pick up the same highlight that we used earlier and put it down the bridge of my nose. If your nose is a little bumpy and it doesn't have a smooth bridge, I would avoid this because this is just gonna bring attention to your nose that you don't want. Then I'm putting it on my Cupid's bow to just create a nice pop for my lips. Speaking of lips, it's time to move on to them. I'm taking the MAC Viva Glam number 2, one of my favorite lipsticks of all time. Also, Tarte Lip Paint Namaste, one of my favorite lip paints of all time. These products are the bomb and they make the perfect, beautiful, natural lip color. Now I'm going to set my face with some Fix Plus, and that's it, guys. This is how I highlight and contour with cream and powdered products. I really hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love doing this stuff for you guys. So thanks for watching. Bye! I know it's all the same.